All right, today I'm going to try to make my very first vintage pumpkin. I grabbed some supplies from the store and I got home and got to work. So I got some Reynolds wrap and I'm just going to fold it kind of in the shapes of what's already on the pumpkin. I just want to really accentuate those eyes and nose. And there's a few ways to do this. I looked up a few ways to do it on Pinterest and this seemed to be the most clear cut, but I'm going to try a few other options as well later on. But for this first pumpkin, we're going to take masking tape and we're going to tape the tinfoil right on that pumpkin, which proved to be a little more difficult than it should be. And the nice thing about these projects is when you look at those old vintage pumpkins, they kind of look cattywampus anyway. So if I don't get this perfect, I really don't think it's going to matter. So I'm just going to have faith and move on. Okay, I found it was much easier to tape everything on if I held the pumpkin between my legs because it kept rolling over. So here you can see I have it all masked up. It was pretty easy to go. And I took a paper bag, ripped it in strips, cut it in strips, I should say. And I took one bottle of glue and filled that bottle with water and I dumped the water in there. So half glue, half water, equal parts. Then I put the paper bag in there and I just started to get it so it was more pliable. Some people I was reading use tissue paper and that might be easier. I don't know. This is my first time, so I'm just rolling with it. So I decided just to go for the easy side first before I delve into that face I masked up. And this seems pretty easy. I was a little concerned, is this really going to work or not? Because I've never done papier-mâché before, but I just kind of stuck with it. And I was very generous on the glue, as you can see here. So if you've done papier-mâché before, I'd be curious what you've done. There was one other option I almost tried, but I just didn't have the materials, and that was to take egg cartons, put them in a blender, kind of rip them up and put them in a blender with water, and then wring it out, and it gives you kind of this nice pulp. And her pumpkin turned out amazing, so I'm going to save some cartons and try that someday. And I'm also wondering about the tissue paper. Is that too thin, or does that work even better? Anyways, I'm still working with a shopping bag from the store, and I just found that as I got to the masked area, it wasn't really super pliable. I probably should have maybe soaked it a little longer, but what remedied that was just making smaller pieces and just kind of really tucking in those nooks and crannies. And the thing is if it's not perfect, then I'm going to come over the top anyway with some product called paper clay. So I think it will hide the imperfections. We'll see. So as you can see, I turned this over, finished it up, and I fast forward a little bit, and I'm just kind of tackling these eyes as well. I don't know that I need to cover the masking tape, but I'm going to do a fair amount of it and just give me a little peace of mind that it will be okay. So I let it dry overnight, and the next day, this is what it looked like. I'm not going to lie, at this stage in the game, I was thinking, I don't know. Let's see if this is actually going to work. So I got out the paper clay and I just got a bowl of water and kept my fingers wet. And I just kind of worked it in, just kind of like molding. It was pretty easy. So I did the front first. That was the most labor intensive because you really need to get around all of your masking tape, the eyes, the lifted portions. And I found as I was filling it in, you couldn't really see the features I was trying to exaggerate with the tinfoil, but I found a remedy for that a little later. So as you can see, I'm just going to keep working this in. I'm keeping it wet, and I'm just kind of spreading it with my thumb, and my hand did get a little tired, but I did the trick. Okay, so you can see here, I'm coming along. I took some of that clay and I just rolled it up, and then I just accentuated those eyes even more so that they would really stand out by the time we were done. And you can just kind of smooth it around. Again, it's not perfect. Now, I did find that as I kept applying clay, my pumpkin was flipping over because it was so heavy in the front. So that's why I have this bowl on the bottom now. It kind of helps hold it in place. And my hands were getting tired. So my goal was really just to get this front done, let it dry, and then maybe go on to the rest tomorrow. So this is where I left it off for the night. The next day I came in and I actually took that clay and I rolled it out like a pancake with a little roller you see, and I was able to cover the back much faster. So I'm just taking the little bit I have left over and patching the top, patching the bottom. And then I will get my hands wet and I'll really try to smooth everything else out. It doesn't have to be perfect because I want it to look old and kind of, I don't know, kind of like, I just don't want it perfect. So I'm just going to do a light hand with the water, smooth it out a bit. And then I need the back to dry. So my solution to that was to take it out in the sunshine. It sat on my garden hook for a few hours. Hot summer day, that did the trick. So next up, I had to paint it. I didn't have a lot of orange paint, so I just got out some spray paint. And honestly, it went so much faster because that clay was pretty porous and there was lots of nooks and crannies because everything's uneven. And so I was able to just spray this a couple times and it looked great. I can come in with hand paints later if I need to. So you can kind of see here how it's looking. All right, and there's the face. I saved that for last. And then I just kind of came in and touched everything up with my crafting paints. So I'm using ivory for a mouth. And the one thing with that clay base and the spray paint, it really sucked up the craft paint. So I had to do a few layers. I next came in with yellow for the eyes. It's a little bright. I might antique that later to dull it out a little bit, but we're just going to roll with it for now. And again, all the paint took a couple layers just because that base really sucked it in. So make sure you have enough paint. So once that dried, I came in with some black paint. I kind of wanted him to be looking sideways a little bit. I did the nose first, and then I came into the corner of the eyes with some paint. Now, I noticed that the paint on this rough surface, I couldn't really get a nice clean edge on it, clean lines. So I did my best with a paintbrush, and then the trick was actually to come in later with a black Sharpie pen, and I just outlined everything and gave it a nice finish. All right, so he's gonna be looking a little sideways, giving someone the side eye, as you can see here. And then I will also use the Sharpie to do the teeth because I'm a little nervous with this brush just having a super steady hand. So we're gonna do a little cheat. All right, almost done here. Get my pen. Okay, we're just gonna do simple lines for the teeth. And he's got that vintage look. And we'll add a little bit to the eyes. And then I'm gonna outline him with that Sharpie as well. All right, out to the sun. It's gotta dry again. And this is the final result. I might darken those eyes a little bit, antique them, but I think he's super cute. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll add a supply list. Thank you.